Alright, guys, welcome to Flav Oriana's MMA show. I'm your host, Flav Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Excuse me. So, this past weekend, we already had Ciryl Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I'm going to go very little into that. If you guys watched the fight, decent card. The headliner, in my opinion, what stole the show was Pedro Munhoz versus Jimmie Rivera. That was a phenomenal fight. I'm pretty sure we would have got that same type of fight if that was on UFC 258, headlined by Usman versus Burns. All right, but we had to wait a little bit longer. We got it for free, right? We got it for free for the UFC fight night, UFC Vegas 20. But outside of that, the Ronnie Lawrence fight was pretty good. This guy showed a lot of potential. I know Mike Heck, if you guys listen to What the Heck with Mike Heck on MMAfighting.com, he was describing him as Johnny Lawrence as Dominic Cruz, Merab Dvalishvili, right, and a TJ Dillashaw mixed together. I mean, if you put all those three fighters together, you got some animal at bantamweight right there. I think it's a little bit too far of a stretch, but what I would say is that Ronnie Lawrence does got it. He definitely does have it. All right, what he ended up doing to his opponent, right, was phenomenal. I mean, he was the only person outside of Pedro Munhoz and Jimmie Rivera to get a bonus, which was phenomenal, right? He ended up being Vince Cachero. And, I mean, Dustin Jacoby, that was a good fight against Maxim Grisham. I mean, I was okay with the decision, but that whole card, outside of the Ronnie Lawrence fight, everything was all decisions. I mean, I was very disappointed seeing Sabina Mazo get dominated on the floor against Alexis Davis. Alexis Davis is a former title contender. So, I mean, I felt like that was a little bit too much of a step up, but at some point she was going to need to get some type of a step up if she's going to be trying to go this far into the division. I personally feel like she should just stay at flyweight. Her being at bantamweight, I mean, I get it. She has hands right now. I mean, great, Colombian boxer, right? Can strike with anybody, but stick at the flyweight division, my friend. Sabina, I root for you. I root for you, Chito. You guys are come from my country. Obviously, you guys didn't know. Half Colombian, half Ecuadorian. Sabina Mazo is the only female Colombian on the roster, and I was very disappointed seeing her lose. But I know she'll bounce back. She's great. She's great. The feature prelim was Alexander Hernandez versus Thiago Moises. Look, I had it 29-28. I understand why Alexander Hernandez was very disappointed. For him to think that he won the fight over Thiago Moises is beyond me. But, what's it called? Moises was just landing crisper punches, and he was a little bit more accurate as opposed to Hernandez. And then I'm just giving you guys a rundown. If you guys saw, if you not, whatever. Alex Caceres, good fight against Kevin Croom. I was very surprised seeing James Krause thought it was 1-1 going into the third round. I think if he thought it was 0-2 going into the third round, maybe the Kevin Croom, he got to stick with that name, the hard-hitting hillbilly or whatever he was. So that was such a phenomenal nickname. Him calling himself Crash, I just feel like it's just so bland, It's like grits, bland. Who likes grits? Ugh. Anyways, he would have went after Alex Caceres, and Alex Caceres has a very tough fighting style. All right, I'm surprised he's not even ranked, to be honest. But he's on a 4-fight win streak, beat Kevin Croom by decision, right? And yeah, Caceres did his thing, man. He did his thing. Obviously, like I said to you before, Pedro Munhoz versus Jimmie Rivera. That was the fight, right? Pedro Munhoz was landing monster calf kicks. I mean, calf kicks that were phenomenally tough. I mean, Jimmie got strong legs, but he was wobbling towards the third round. Got dropped a couple times with the calf kicks, but we got to see a third fight. I think that should be the fight to make. If not, have Pedro fight Cody Garbrandt. It'll be good for Pedro. Even though Pedro has beaten Garbrandt before, Cody Garbrandt is such a big household name at bantamweight. And as for Jimmie Rivera, guys, I want to see this fight right now. I want to see Chito Vera versus Jimmie Rivera. All right. Chito Vera versus Jimmie Rivera. All right, they have some animosity. This is the perfect time to have Jimmie versus Chito. The first time, Jimmie denied Cheeto because he was like, this guy's nowhere near ranked. Right? I have no business trying to fight somebody this low in the ranking order. But now Cheeto's ranked 15, Jimmie's ranked number 10. Come on, guys, you guys gotta have this fight. Put this on a pay-per-view. You know you guys gonna have a phenomenal fight opening up a pay-per-view card. All right. Next fight we had Montana De La Rosa versus Mayra Buena Silva. The whole fight, pretty much just changed when that ref. I mean, bravo to you, ref. Bravo to you, ref. Mayra Buena Silva held onto the cage, and right there, bam, deducted a point. It turned everything around. If she would have never held onto the cage, Mayra Buena Silva would have won the round. I mean, would have won the fight. She would have won the fight. She would have won it pretty much 30-27. And as for Eric Colon, you, my friend, I don't know what fight you were watching, but that was no 10-8. There was no 10-8 in the third round. No, I know you wanted to give the fight to Mayra Buena Silva, but there was no 10-8 on that third round. I think that they need to reevaluate why you should be a judge moving on forward. I really do believe that. All right. And Magomed Ankalaev versus Nikita Krylov. Good fight. I think Magomed is going to need to get a bigger step up. If I'm him, I'm looking into that Yuri Prochazka, Dominic Reyes fight. If I'm Magomed, I want to fight the loser of that fight so I can get on forward and getting closer to the light heavyweight title, because light heavyweight is very, very slim. It's not that many fighters in that division, right? And it's a foot race at this point. We got to see who wins this Saturday between Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz. If Jan Blachowicz wins, that's good for the division, because then you're going to see more fights in that division. If Izzy wins, you might see Izzy move up to heavyweight to try to fight John Jones. So if I'm anybody that's on the roster for light heavyweight, I'm watching that fight. And then lastly, Ciryl Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Look, I know in my head it was a boring fight. It was a very tactician fight. Stylistically, it was great. Everything was nice and crisp. The technique was pretty good. But Jairzinho Rozenstruik, in my opinion, I know he was frustrated, and this guy could have not fought any worse, in my opinion. Any worse, because I think that he ended up coming into that fight very, very scared. Very, very scared, because everything that they were saying that Ciryl Gane could be the next Francis Ngannou, and the way that he got clipped and he got dominated pretty bad. I mean, this guy could have almost died getting hit by the way that he got hit by Francis Ngannou. I think he came to that fight scared. He was very flat-footed. He had no mobility whatsoever on trying to close in range. Anytime that Ciryl Gane ended up throwing that jab, it was over. It was just simply over right there, because he had no idea how to defend it. And I know a lot of people were throwing a lot of smack towards Ciryl Gane. That was a boring fight. You should have made it more entertaining. Yes, it was a boring fight, but he fought the correct way. But I also think that he kind of messed up some chances for him in the future, because think about it. 8-0, fine. You fight to win, right? You want to be able to get both paychecks, right? Your show money and your win bonus, right? But you're getting the main event slot on ESPN Plus, whatever, and you fight a very boring fight, 25 minutes. I know it isn't a pan out for you in the long run, but you're gonna have to showcase yourself, why you deserve to be in the main event again. And being in the main event is such a big thing, especially at heavyweight. I don't know. It's more importantly that he won the fight. But the fact that he ended up not being very what's it called? Trying to build more fans, I know I'm gonna get some backlash at some point, and you guys know, who you're you know who I'm talking about. I'm looking at you at the screen right now. I know I'm gonna get some backlash from you and hear about it. Well, Ciryl, fights to win and stuff like that. Fine, I totally understand that. But he had the opportunity of accelerating himself into a higher threshold of a fighter if he would have just showed, what he did to Junior Dos Santos. All right. I think he played it safe, in my opinion, too. He just wanted to win, and that's fine. Jairzinho, I think he deserves all the boatload of backlash. He fought scared. I know he fought frustrated. He couldn't close in distance. He was very flat-footed, too. I mean, you shouldn't be that flat-footed of a fighter. And just after the first round, I'm like, this is how the whole fight's gonna end up being for the next 4 rounds. But yeah, so what's gonna happen with these two next heavyweights? I mean, I know there's talks. I know there was like rumors Tom Aspinall should fight Jairzinho. I don't like that fight. I don't want to move Aspinall that far up right then and there. I'd rather see. Yeah, I said it in a previous video. Curtis Blades versus Augustus Sakai. That might be Curtis Blades' next opponent, but I don't think that's gonna be Augustus Sakai's next opponent. I think Augustus Sakai should definitely fight Jairzinho. That would be a smack. These two guys, behemoths, are gonna go at war. All right, have those two guys fight. As for Ciryl Gane, I thought about it. I thought maybe Derek Lewis and Ciryl Gane. I personally do feel like at this point, have Alexander Volkov versus Ciryl Gane. You have those two guys fight each other. Man, oh man. Ciryl Gane is not going to be just throwing that jab. He's going to have to pick it up. Because Volkov will fight at distance and he will chop him up. He has to. Man, oh man. I would look forward to seeing that. That will have to be a main event. And that will be Ciryl Gane's second opportunity to showcase why he should be fighting for a title down the line. But until then, guys, look. I'm going to give you guys my UFC 259 picks, right? My predictions in the next video. Not in this video. The next video. Until then, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. And please, put in the comment section below what you thought about this video. Who should Ciryl Gane fight next? Who should Jairzinho fight next? Who should Jimmie Rivera fight next? Should he fight Chito? Who should Pedro Munhoz fight? So then, guys, that's all. Peace.